The United States and the United Kingdom sometimes have their differences, but what they don't differ in is vaping, being seen as the two largest consumers of vapes in the world. Many countries have now swapped smoke for vape, with the industry being valued at $27 to $60 billion. But where did it all begin? In 1927, Joseph Robinson filed for the patent for the first electronic vaporizer, which got accepted in 1930. It was designed to create a purer vapor than burning a substance or medicine for inhalation. However, a prototype was never built and therefore no sale of the device was ever made. We only have diagrams of what it would potentially look like, but the mechanism was similar to how vapes work today. Nothing really progressed until a man named Herbert Gilbert came along in 1963 to file a patent for what looked a lot more like today's e-cigarettes. It was accepted in 1965, and this time basic prototypes were created, but it's unknown if any prototype was perfected to vaporize any type of nicotine. Commercially, it didn't take off at all, but Gilbert believed this was due to companies who would have invested not wanting to create any products using his mechanism until the patent expired. Although it's unknown if a product like this would have had any commercial success in the era anyway. It took until 1979 for any sort of commercialization of the idea to begin. Phil Ray, a computing pioneer, and physician Norman Jacobson created a product that wasn't electronic but relied on the evaporation of nicotine to create a vapor, and they were the first to research into an effective nicotine delivery which differed from a traditional cigarette. The product made it to the stores, but ultimately it wasn't as effective as they thought they could make it, meaning it wasn't always reliable and resulted in the product being a failure. They did, however, coin the verb vape. Tobacco companies and individuals started ramping up patents for nicotine inhalation devices in the late 90s and early noughties. Many were similar to the evaporation product by Ray and Jacobson, or used a method of physical propulsion. Yet amongst those, a few emerging electronic devices were created. Reynolds was the most successful of this era, bringing in the Eclipse in the mid to late 90s, which is still purchasable today. It's a mix of a nicotine inhaler and a combusted cigarette, passing heated air over tobacco instead of burning it. A more e-cigarette type device was created by a big US tobacco company. However, they got denied for FDA approval in 1998 as they weren't sure if it was a safe drug delivery device. This denial put off other competitors creating campaigns for e-cigarette devices, as they thought they may suffer the same fate. This was until a Chinese physician and prolific smoker came along in 2003. After his father died of lung cancer, he attempted to create the modern style vape device through his company Golden Dragon Holdings and named it Ryan, meaning like smoke. The device successfully vaporized nicotine in liquid form and had flavorings. This product was released in China initially and made its way to European and American markets in 2006. It wasn't always smooth from here though. Most countries have since had their own policies on vapes, varying from which flavors are allowed to be used to where they can be bought to if they can be used at all, with a considerable amount of countries having banned them at one point in time. But with the vaping industry having grown so big and shown to have no issue fighting legal battles against governments as they arise, the vape industry for now is here to stay.